hello.
Hey, nothing really changed. We just swapped the people playing the game.
So I'm Almondcity. This is Mega Man 4. We're about to play. Here with me and my other friends. It's actually the same friends.
Yeah, pretty much.
You guys.
Hi, I'm Facet CC.
I'm Darkman again.
Dark Terex. That's Jimmy Poopins.
Hey, Jimmy. That's Edo Bean again. That's Sinister off camera. And that's BJWA in the back eating his Swedish snacks.
He's got the coffee table. He's living it.
This game is fairly similar to the last one you saw. The notable difference being that we can charge, and that charge will do 3 regular buster shots. So I'll give a countdown. I think the screen won't reset, but 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. So I'm going to go to Brightman first, if one of you guys can discuss that.
Yeah, I'll talk about Brightman first. There's a couple different routes for this game. They're not as different as the Mega Man 3 routes are. It's really just swapping the first couple stages around for the most part. Bright and Pharaoh are the stages you want to do early on. The weapon you get from this stage is incredible, the Flash Stopper. We'll see plenty of that throughout the run, so we'll talk about that later. The difference between the routes is not a ton. It's a few seconds. But, yeah, it's a lot safer to go Brightman first. It's probably the route I would recommend almost everybody run. And definitely in a live event, it's by far the safest. This is one of my favorite screens right here.
It's pretty good. I like it.
Yeah, look at this. Just smooth.
Beautiful. So yeah, these grasshoppers that you see Almond riding are actually a little bit, they're RNG. So you can see right there, it did like a big hop, or it can do a small hop that you saw earlier. Purely random chance which one it goes. Depending on which grasshopper it is, most of them you want them to do a big hop, but some of them you want them to do a small one.
Yeah, the small jumps when there's like enemies on the screen or drops, it just goes so slow.
Yeah.
There's probably like a good 5 seconds worth of difference between the best and worst grasshopper patterns.
Should I be insane and do this jump?
Yeah.
Fast, what do you say?
I mean, you would have told me.
It's in your hands now.
You would have told me to do it. That's all I'm saying is you would have told me to do it. So.
This is ridiculous. I won't stand for this.
I feel cheated right now. These platforms are actually pretty scary casually, but if you walk against the end of them, you actually don't fall off.
This fight's pretty interesting. I'm going to shoot him with some charge shots and then one uncharged shot. That'll set his health up to give me a pattern that's not terrible.
Yeah, so if Brightman's health is at certain intervals, they are in intervals of 4. Not every 4, but they are in intervals of 4. He would potentially freeze the screen, and then you can't do anything. You just sit there and wait for him to hit you. So that's why you see him do the uncharged shot at a certain interval, to get him at that 3 health. Intervals.
Did you think that one was a charge shot?
Yeah. I thought it was uncharged. So this pixel I'm standing on is very important. That animation you saw there was very quick. If you're not in one pixel, a certain pixel, Mega Man will jump up and come back down. It's very slow. So if you're in the perfect spot, you'll sort of skip an animation. It saves a second or so.
Yeah, over the course of the run, if you know all your magic pixels, you're saving 8 seconds just right off the bat.
So, alright, we gotta focus on the jump.
Big reason for why you go Bright first is for this first screen of Pharaoh. Normally, you just have a ton of enemies on screen that you have to mash down fast, but with Bright, they just don't do anything. Especially important is those dragonflies up top. So normally they would fire bullets down on you, and this is actually incredibly important for the end, where you have to make a big jump at the end, and that dragonfly could potentially just...
Got it.
Oh, God. Yeah, like that jump right there, a dragonfly could potentially just fire a bullet on you, and there's just nothing you can do about it if you aren't fast enough. So that's the main reason why Bright is really nice in this stage.
And so you get Balloon over here. You do not want to miss this item. It's a great item. We're going to see a lot of it in the speedrun. It makes the run faster and better and more fun.
Yep.
You might be wondering why the Flash Stopper lasted for the entirety of the first screen. Like, if you played this game, you probably don't remember it lasting that long. The way it works is, like, there's a 5-second timer, but it doesn't tick down while you're sliding. So if your slide chaining is good enough and you spend enough of the time doing those slides, it'll actually last a very, very long time, and you can get it to last, like, an entire screen like that.
It's one of the hardest things to get down in this game is getting your movement to such a point where your Brights or your Flash Stopper is more consistent. You'll just notice yourself improving over time based on, like, how long your Flash Stopper lasts.
Yeah, just in general, the difference between sliding Mega, like we're seeing now, and then, non-sliding Mega, like we saw at the beginning of the block, is, sliding is about twice as fast as walking or being in the air. So you want to, be hugging the ground as much as you can, and that means you're optimizing your jumps to be as small as possible so you can try to slide as much as you can. So that's where a lot of the danger comes from.
So this fight is the beginning of... No, that's not good. A lot of randomness in this game. Yeah. I really messed it up. Okay.
Yeah, this guy can stand still, or he can just be a jerk like he is right now.
Yeah, basically. You want him to just kind of sit there and charge his thing because it's predictable. But because of your charge timings and all that, it's really weird to kind of do this fight optimally. Very difficult.
You might be wondering why we started with Buster and 2 bosses in a row. And the weakness for this guy is actually Bright. So we did the right weakness order, but Bright kills him a lot slower because you freeze him and just shoot him one at a time, where it's better to use the charge shots and do the 3 damage.
I thought the only accepted route was Toad first.
Toad first. That would be something.
Well,
okay.
This is not optimal.
At least Ringman we can see clearly.
I mean,
Take what you can get.
so now you're in Heatman stage.
What?
All right, so we're good. All right, done.
Nobody
Nothing happened.
breathe. Can't breathe right now. My cart was acting up. Okay. Before this.
So this is the first usage of why Balloon is really good. You're going to basically skip most of this first part of the section, and you're going to see the first instance of the balloon jumping right there. So you can put a balloon into a wall and it despawns it. However, it's not actually gone. You have, I want to say it's like 12, 16. You have like a bunch of frames in order to actually jump on top of that, what seems like it's a despawned balloon, and then jump off of it. So you're going to see a lot of that later in the run.
Yeah, we don't like ladders in Mega Man, so we can skip them with balloons.
So remove ladders.
I just want to say Jimmy off screen is being a big help right now. Thanks, Jimmy. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Jimmy.
All right, proper. Yep. So there you go. He was. He had to make sure he was left enough there, so when he gets damage boosted, his Pharaoh shot runs into the ring and kills it.
There's 4 mini bosses, I think, in this stage, and I don't know that you kill one of them.
Yeah.
This stairs.
So yeah, one thing we didn't talk about Ring is you have to be really careful with health management throughout this stage. Yeah, if everything ends up like reasonably correct, you're going to be at like 2 health after everything is said and done. So health is definitely crucial in this stage.
I have more than 8 health, right?
Yeah,
You do,
yeah,
yeah.
you're good. You're at 12.
I asked that because I... this morning when I was practicing, I slid right into him and had 8 health, thinking I had like 10.
All right, so a really important thing right here is he's going to hold B to charge Pharaoh. So you have actually 1 frame when Mega Man enters, and that's important because as long as you're holding B, it charges his Pharaoh shot, and that's important for this pattern right here. This fight...
Oh, I didn't do that right.
That fight isn't.
He freaks me out because sometimes he'll keep running.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Sure, sure. I think it's based on where you are.
I have no idea.
Yeah, there's like a point where like he'll just keep running at you if you go too fast.
Yeah.
So yeah, the fight is mostly scripted. So that's why you need that charge shot at the beginning, because we're going to kill him exactly when we want to because of it. So yeah, perfect.
With full health, it's easy. When you have 4 health, that's when you take damage. That's how Mega Man speedrunning
generally,
is.
that's how, yeah. Speedrun works. So the next stage is Dustman. Dustman is actually a pretty difficult stage, I feel like. I always think at it.
The first screen's very... Well,
Yeah.
all the screens are pretty scary.
Mhm.
The first one, I'm going to use Pharaoh to shoot diagonally.
Okay.
You're going to use Pharaoh, huh?
Sick.
I did not fail it once today.
Okay, then you got this.
I
got
I'm
this.
just
So yeah,
going to put that out there now.
there's a few there's a few strats you can do in this first screen, and Almond's gonna go for the riskier but faster strat in Pharaoh. So he has to be really careful in where he times his Pharaoh shots, because you have these little things that are coming out of the pit. I don't know what the official lore is. Tonic would be really mad at me right now, but
He's pretty mad always.
that's fine. So yeah, right there. If he's off on his sliding, oh yeah, okay. Oh,
I got
so
that drop.
The drop,
yeah,
yeah,
that drop really killed him right there because it just threw off his slide timing, but just a little bit, and as a result, his shot was just a little bit too far.
I don't know how hard this looks, but this is an extremely difficult strat.
Do you not do the strat?
I do, but
Oh.
I do it a lot.
Okay, all right, so he saved himself. Yeah, this strat is not easy. So you're going to use Bright here or Pharaoh?
Pharaoh?
Okay. All right, so again, opting to use the harder strat here and using Pharaoh. You could use Bright and make this a little bit easier, but Pharaoh's cooler. God, see, this screen's really loud. Oh, goodness.
Oh,
All right, this is fine. He's still
this is
fine.
fine.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's fine. Good.
Yeah.
Very well. Very well done. He had to improv a little bit there, but he did it really well.
Sometimes those drops can land on the spikes and you pick them up even though you're on the block.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I think that was a
If you go
small
really
drop.
fast.
Yeah. I'm not that good. So if you want to explain what's
yeah,
going
this
on,
crusher is pretty cool. So obviously you see Ring is pretty good about taking these blocks off. There's a cycle you can hit, and you're going to see
Sick.
beautiful.
Yeah.
It looks terrifying every time because
Yeah.
the strat is actually to wait until it almost crushes you, and then you can get through that last section. There's a fair amount of leeway in trying to get to the end, but your movement still has to be pretty good. And if you make any major mistake, you're not going to hit that cycle.
Yeah, like you think as soon as he's touching, as soon as the two ends are touching that you're dead, but no, you have a little bit of like room before he dies there, so.
Yeah, it's the Mega Man 5 crusher. If it even like breathes on you, you're dead. But in Mega Man 4, you know, it can actually kind of squeeze you a little bit before it actually kills you.
I just want to say shout outs to Ice Plug. Alright, so Dust can do a two, like right there.
Oh my
Dust
God.
Dust sucks. right there.
See, this is so unfair.
This is totally random.
But this is Mega Man 4 also.
Yeah.
Like, you when you run this game, you expect that you're gonna have to deal with some randomness. Of
We
course,
haven't
if you
even
get through the
gotten-
stage with more health, then
Yeah,
you can take
well-
another damage boost.
What kind of, that wasn't even close. Disappointed
I don't
me.
actually I don't know the pixel on that
Really?
scene. No, I've never gotten it.
I'm ashamed.
consistently.
Just guess.
Yeah. So coming up is Skullman. It's just probably my favorite stage.
That's a great stage.
Yeah.
And the start of it, we're going to use a zip with the balloon. If you guys want to talk about that.
I mean, I don't know much about it. All I know is you get stuck and you get past it.
Yeah, so there's not a lot of zips that are. I mean, basically RTA, we really only do this zip in the run.
Okay.
We saw a lot of zips in Mega Man 2 earlier, where you get stuck in the ceiling and it tries to push you out. Here, if you get stuck, yeah, you saw him get it there. Here, if you get stuck, it actually kills you. But what he did there is he took damage at the proper time, so that he was in invincibility frames when it would kill him. And then when the enemy hit him, it had nowhere to put him and just zipped him through.
Yeah, if you're too early or too late on that, you could potentially die or just not zip. So, just be a little bit careful with health at this point. It's not dire straits, but just doesn't want to get hit again.
Yeah.
It's low, but you're good. You're Almondcity.
The shield guys do a lot of damage. If I'd gotten hit, I'd have been in some hard times.
All the balloon usage, it's so beautiful.
I love Balloon.
Such a good stage because of it.
Whoops. I guess one thing is
Okay. Those enemies are a little interesting. If you hit them like on the first frame they appear, like the shot will tink off of them, and then you can't damage them. Yeah, it's like,
Wow.
so you have to like kind of time your shots there appropriately.
See, I would never know that because I'm bad.
You're not meant to kill them from that side. It's only because you have this weapon, because they're shielded on that side, but the freeze just makes it so the shield doesn't work.
So Skullman is an entirely manipulable fight. You can manipulate it in any way you want. So based on what you do, Skull reacts to that. So Almond's going to do specific jumps and shots in order to get the pattern that he wants. So yeah, he wanted 4 shots before that shield. The shield, when it releases, is random, so he can keep his shield there for like 5 seconds. But fortunately, he got the super fast pattern, and yeah.
Yeah, it was a good fight.
Yeah.
And again, like in Mega Man 3, you want to kill the boss as close to the center as possible. So that was like absolutely perfect. Killing where he was at.
one other difference between this and 3 is that the menu is much slower in this. So a lot of times you'll see me switching to a weapon like at the start and keeping it for the entire stage. And I believe that'll be the case here, just because the menu is so slow. Should I kill the fish?
Yeah, kill the fish.
Sure, why not?
Oh,
Yeah, no drop though.
I missed the slide.
Important thing is you can't actually jump out of a slide when you're underwater. So this is important because if you do slide at wrong parts, you're just going to slide into spikes. So has to be a little bit careful of this slide usage here.
Those whales have 14 health. You have to jump up and mash them quite a lot.
I'm embarrassed, Almond.
That was terrible.
Just calling it like it is.
I'm glad he's embarrassed too.
I mean, you saw how I mashed in the last game. Even I'm kind of embarrassed.
Hey man, you got the cats down. One of them.
But you, again, like the cats, you have a chance at redemption here. There's another whale coming up.
There you go. See? 1 of 2, that's what's important.
Games love to do mini bosses in pairs, don't they?
Yeah. One is just not enough. All right, that's better. All right, we did it. All right, don't fall in there.
Safe here.
So,
Not getting the wire today.
no, rip. We'd lose him quite a bit of time if we fell in there.
So right now I have exact ammo pretty much for dive because I killed all those fish. So it's pretty free this fight, but it's not free.
Yeah.
It's free unless you make a mistake.
Yeah, it's another scripted fight. He goes back and forth with his little thing there, and you can't hit him while he's doing his like little.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
I'm really dumb.
Well, you know the backup.
Where is it?
Dust, yeah.
Yeah, so Dust actually does 3 damage, so it's a pretty decent soft weakness there.
All right, let's see if you can get this.
I think I'm on the right one. Nope.
So what Almond was actually trying to do there is he's in the proper pixel, and Mega Man goes instantly up, as you can see there. But if he also jumps up to the proper position, what will happen is it'll do the weapon get thing that Mega Man does when he jumps up. So it just basically skips the entire jump. It's like, okay, you see the weapon get done, going up. So that saves actually quite a bit of time if he times it properly.
Our buddy Drillman.
Our buddy True Dive
This
Man.
card is cursed. This morning when I was playing, I got like 4 or 5 dives every time.
I mean, I already saw Curse the robot earlier, so.
This is another stage we're going to switch to Bright right at the start and leave it for the entire stage.
Yeah, this stage is basically just shows you how powerful Bright is, and the next stage as well.
And you do want to be careful on this stage because the checkpoint for it is very, very far into it. It's like the second to last screen. So, like, if you end up dying somewhere in it, it's quite a ways back.
That was a little close.
Yeah. You guys see, just like, nothing's happening. This is so easy when you have Bright here.
This is a good trick here. Let me get this.
Nice.
So if you freeze those guys right when they come on screen, they actually shoot bullets really quickly. So if you're a little slow, they'll shoot a bullet and you won't be able to take the path through that screen that Almond did, but he hit the timing when he came into the screen. And
This
freezed
room's kind of scary.
Yeah, this room is the most important example of having good slide movement, because as long as your movement's good, you're able to kind of get past this entire screen with just one flash stopper.
Still good.
All right.
I mean,
Could have gone worse.
Yeah. Yeah, so
Ledge
like,
drop,
sorry, go ahead.
the ammo in this game fills up very slowly, so you really want to avoid any drops at all. I don't know why this game is so slow with that.
All right, call it. How many?
I'm going to say 0.
2.
3.
So, the first one is he has to go down. It's mandatory. Then after that, it's entirely random whether he goes or not. Oh my God, is Fast gonna be right? Fast is gonna be right? Oh my goodness.
Nope.
So fortunately, he did not go down a single time other than the scripted part. So that's
the
not.
face left here.
I'm very
yeah,
glad that I was
Yeah, you
right.
hit the face left. Yeah.
My
But yeah,
bad.
each dive is like 4.5 seconds, and you can get up to 4 or 5 of them, and they're not. Yeah, it's not even that uncommon.
He'll get revenge in the refight.
Yeah.
Between the 2 fights, he can probably cost you 30 seconds if he wanted to.
Oh sure.
I guess Toad is another stage that we're going to where I switch to Bright right away.
Yeah, it's a pretty
keep
powerful
it.
weapon.
It is.
Can we talk about how from Flash you get the time stopper, but from Bright you get the flash stopper? Does that make any sense?
I mean, the screen flashes.
Okay. All right, you got me.
What about Centaur Flash?
No comment.
So the rain actually is pushing me back here when I jump, so that jump's kind of tight.
This screen is actually ridiculous without flash stopper. Like, things just swooping in on you the entire time.
I'll just won't play the game if there's ever a strat that doesn't use flash stopper there. So you have to be a little bit careful about these slides right here. If you jump too late, you end up just sliding into the pit. So yeah, hold on there.
Toad is a very interesting stage. There's a lot of like environmental things that push and pull you around.
Yeah, we're just gonna skip that mini boss because
Yeah,
nobody
why not?
wants to fight him.
But like right here, you see the water. It actually will push you forward. The rain at the beginning pushes you back.
Yeah.
Don't jump in the pit.
Nah, definitely. Ooh. Well, I mean,
Okay.
Hit me.
All
Wait.
right, all right.
You didn't?
Okay, that was fine. Oh,
Oh, happy fish.
all right.
No.
So the hardest boss in the game.
Absolutely.
This one's
Absolutely. All right, get ready. Don't blink.
My health's a little low for this.
Yeah, you're right.
It's really easy to die.
Yeah, absolutely. Ooh, frame perfect.
Wow.
Frame perfect. It was beautiful. Couldn't ask for a better fight. It's wonderful. You're really good at this game.
So he actually has an attack that like hits the whole screen, and you can't avoid it. But if you keep attacking him, he never uses it. So
Yeah. All right, so that was the warm-up round. Now we're into the Cossack
Do we
stages.
have donations?
Yeah.
Real quick, we got a couple of donations here from a couple more community members. We got some Mega Man speedrunners in here. We got $50 from Mr. Cab.
Nice.
Good luck stopping the evil Dr. Cossack. And we've also got a $10 donation here from Chelney. This game is good. Happy Stone.
So shout-outs to Mr. Cab. We didn't have a chance, but earlier during the Rockman 2 race, he also donated $150.
Wow.
So
Whoa.
thanks, Mr. Cab.
Okay. Cossack 1 is a pretty cool stage. It's a lot of difficult parts in it. For whatever reason, these slinkies in the first screen take 6 damage to kill. So I need to do a fully charged shot and then 3 more.
Yeah, movement is pretty interesting in this first screen. It's one of my favorite screens to just like go through. You can see kind of like the optimal slide movements while actually killing the slinkies that you need to.
The real scary screen is this one and then the last one.
Sure.
at least this one's the checkpoint.
Yeah. Oh, just a double slide there. It's fancy.
Look at this. That was beautiful.
Yeah, all done. Oh, and the despawn? Oh, nice. What a gamer. So now you get to see the power balloon. This is the first showing. It only gets better.
So this next screen is very difficult. I do oh my gosh, a baby strat.
Oh, you do it that way. All right, that's cool.
There's a much faster strat there
Yeah.
that I think Fast goes for.
Yeah, this screen's really hard.
All right, so funny thing about Cossack and Wily bosses is pretty much like almost every boss is either weak to like ring or dust. So you have to like carefully manage your ammo throughout the entirety of Cossack and Wily. And this boss right here has a fairly small hitbox. You can see that little circle. That's basically it. It's not very forgiving, but that was a really nice fight there. You basically have to like fire him at certain points at like the absolute peak of your jump, otherwise you just miss the shot. So Almond did a really good job with that fight.
The interesting thing about the weapons in this game is they all have a 1 pixel hitbox, which is not common among Mega Man. Usually they're, the hitboxes are actually a little bit smaller than like what you're seeing on screen. So the weapons are, you have to be really precise with them.
And so remember we talked about balloon jumping earlier, about how you can jump off a despawn balloon. You're gonna see a lot more of that in this stage. This stage is balloon.
Balloon RTA.
It runs over if I don't get this trick.
Agreed.
Okay.
Nice. That's hard
Yeah.
to do. That's really good strat.
So normally in this next section they expect you to use Rush Jet, but nah, screw that. We're just gonna use balloon. All right, that's fine. You're fine. You're fine. Yeah, you can kind of see like this is definitely not intended.
Yeah.
All right,
Get a lot
well
more
done.
slide time that way.
Yep. And some more jumps off despawn balloons right there.
Yep.
Perfect.
Like the other Mega Man games, you don't get refills on your ammo through the castle stages here. so-
That's not good.
Oh, man.
Yeah. No. I mean, you're
So-
up 4.
Dangerous thing about this game is that there's no checkpoints at the castle bosses.
Thank you.
Okay. Oh,
then.
there we go.
All right. Yeah, if he actually didn't get a drop there, he was 1 shot to the next boss. So
Yeah.
it's fortunate. All right. Can we dedicate this square machine to Chelney?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, this square machine is definitely dedicated to Chelney. Yeah. So the boss is called Square Machine, and he gives you different patterns, and based on that pattern, you save a lot of time or not a lot. All right. That's not bad.
Okay.
It's a 2 cycle, so you can see there he's kind of like going back and forth, and that's the slowest one. So that's when you know he's ready to appear. I'm doing a little D-boost there for the 5 hit. There we go,
Nice.
perfect. So that's the maximum amount of hits you can get in 1 cycle. Let's see what we get here.
Oh my god.
All right, 2-2.
Yeah,
That's
that's pretty good.
like better than average for Chelney.
Yeah.
So,
So there's like a 1 pass, a 2 pass, and a 3 pass, and you would think that maybe they would have something near the same odds, but it's actually hugely skewed towards bad patterns. Like you have a 10% chance of getting the best pattern, or 10% of the best in one cycle. The God fight is a 1% pattern.
Yeah, I've had, I don't know how many, couple hundreds of runs in here, and I've only seen the best pattern once.
Yeah, wow. It's really rare.
It's really rare.
All right,
So the difference between best and worst pattern there is 12 seconds, too.
Yeah.
This is the worst stage in the game.
Yeah.
So we have this is an auto-scroller. Hey, Spike, you got some donations?
Man, auto-scrollers are cool. You know what's also cool? Donations. I got a $20 donation from Rambling Josh who says, speedruns are cool. Heck yeah, he does. All right. We also got $5 here from Zach from St. Jude saying $5 per personal RPS win. And I'll do another 100 if I win.
Ooh. All right.
We also got just a note for you guys. Once again, we are coming up on the end of the classic Mega Man block. We'll come up on the last couple of stages here. After this, we're going to be jumping into Super Mario Sunshine, where we have got an incentive for the Chrism diss track made by Chillin' Dude, his opponent. We are currently sitting at $418 out of $1,000 right now for that. Got to get in those donations, guys. We need them by the end of the run, so get them going.
Yeah, as you can see, it's an auto-scroller. It's not really a whole lot going on. There's a few instances of optimization you're going to see him do, including coming up this next section.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know, man. I'm even more embarrassed now.
I'm so embarrassed.
So he has to be careful there because he doesn't have full health anymore. If they have a small drop there or a big drop, that can like potentially like screw up his rhythm and he could just fall off.
Something to know about the Cossack stages, there are no checkpoints in the boss corridors. So, like, if he dies anywhere, like, at the boss or anything, he's going to have to redo this other half of this auto-scroller again.
And you did notice that he intentionally took some refills for his ring. Again, like I mentioned, most of the bosses in Cossack and Wily are weak to either ring or dust. So that's why your ring and dust ammo is really essential throughout the entirety of the second half of the game. So that's why he takes the refills there. So he has enough to kill the Wily 1 boss and the Wily 3 refights.
Yeah, you gotta be really careful with your Pharaoh ammo as well.
Yes.
You're gonna have a bad time at the Wily capsule.
There are backups, but Almond's too good, so he doesn't need backups. Could you imagine being as good as Almond?
I honestly can't.
Same.
Isn't he participating in Smash here?
Yeah, I hear he's like the home run god, you know? He used to be like this awesome home run contest player.
I've heard something about that.
Yeah. I heard he went under a different name. Marth1 or something like that, yeah?
What a guy.
Don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah? Okay. He's got...
Oh, you missed it.
Uh-oh.
Did I miss it?
Yeah, you did. You
I
did.
did
I
something
am now
weirdly. I
embarrassed.
don't know what happened. Should I just wait? No.
Yeah, that's fine.
I guess
Should I get the refill?
I
could.
probably would.
I would get the big one. Play it safe.
Or should I get it in
I see C4.
Wily?
Oh, you can do
I would get it right
C4.
here.
I get it in Wily 3, but it's up to you.
I want to do the cool strat with the drill.
Oh, then get it in Wily.
Can you remind me to get it in the refight?
Yeah.
In Wily 3? Yeah,
I
sure.
got you.
There's a really neat strat that saves like nothing that I'm gonna do, hopefully.
Oh, are you talking
no,
about
you're
the...
Where I'm gonna store a charge
okay.
at the start here. You can store a charge with Buster. Okay. And then I'm gonna switch to coil.
You know, it saves the frames.
It saves. Oh my gosh. Totally fine.
So yeah, he has a full charge there and menus while keeping it, but the game remembers that he still has a full charge built up. So when he switches back to Buster, it'll release it, and we're gonna use that a little later in the stage.
Take top route here. It's much faster than going the other way. Or sorry, bottom route, excuse me. Alright, so this is it right here. He's going to be using this store charge for this next Slinky right here.
Got it.
Got it.
Yep.
Nice.
Nice.
Excellent.
That's
So
pretty
yeah, basically, if the way in which he did the menu there is, if he so he paused there, and that Slinky still has like I think 1 bit of health left because we didn't let the full drill hit him. So that's why you need that store charge there to do it that way.
It does actually save time. It's not pure swag.
Well, it saves like
Pretty
lag
swag.
frames, right?
That, and I think you have to delay a little bit to let the drill finish exploding. But there you don't have to stop.
So this is Cossack Catcher. You can manipulate this entire fight. That's kind of cool. As long as you're sliding, he doesn't really know what to do and just kind of like stands where he's at. So yeah, that's why you kind of see like Almond sliding at certain intervals, because there's certain intervals in which he's actually just not doing anything. and certain intervals in which he's trying to get to you, but because you keep sliding, he doesn't know what to do.
Blah, 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 blah.
Text.
I guess it's worth noting that I'm playing on Mega Man 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Famously lost a certain race to a certain someone because of that.
Yeah.
may or not still be salty about. But the text in the Japanese is faster, and that's pretty much the only difference.
Is it?
Yes. Yeah. It's like
like half a
39
second.
frames or
Yeah.
something. Yeah.
That didn't make up 2 seconds, though.
It what?
That doesn't make up 2 seconds that you lost to
I
him
didn't
by.
lose by 2 seconds.
Yeah, it wasn't that much.
You lost to him by more than 39 frames.
It was pretty close.
It was
We'll have
more.
to go check the VOD.
All right, we'll check the VOD.
There is a slight other difference in that fight. In the Mega Man 4 version, Cossack Catcher actually just stays put at the start, whereas he moves right away in Rockman 4. I'm not sure why.
All right. In honor of Mr. Cab, I just want to say shout out to the Mets.
Let's go Mets.
This is a pretty cool stage.
Really difficult, but yeah, pretty fun.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that guy's a jerk.
Some of these Mets are 3-hit, take 3 shots, and some take 1, so you have to know.
I'm just going to say I don't think Mets should ever have more than 1 health.
Agreed.
1 up.
And they should never split into 3 baby Mets and jump around the screen.
I think you were at 0, so that was nice.
All right, scary.
That was a really difficult screen that he's sitting.
Yeah. There's a lot of like technical things to this stage, including this section right here. So again, you can't jump out of a slide, so you have to be really careful.
Not doing that.
All
Yep.
right, that's cool.
Yeah, that's...
So yeah, as you can see, the reason why it's Mets, because literally every single enemy except that thing over there is
what's
a Met.
his deal?
I don't know, dude. It's totally out of place, out of character. So yeah, block puzzles, no one cares.
Now, Darkman, what's the name of the boss coming up?
Metal Daddy, that's it. Yeah.
Met Daddy.
No, it's Metal Daddy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I shortened it. We're on a first name basis.
Oh, alright, you're right.
Cool like that.
I'm going to jump into the room so that I get slightly closer and I can sort of just mash right at the start and miss him because I didn't do it right.
Yeah, so there's different patterns. The boss jumps up at certain times, and you want him to jump up as late as possible, like right there. Allows you to get more hits in, and because you want to kill him in 3 cycles and not 4, because obviously...
Looking unlikely.
Yeah, it's not going to work. So unfortunately...
Oh, the
nice. 5! You got that?
5-hit
my-
cycle is not easy to do
That's
at all.
incredible. Wow. Yeah, that was insane that he got those 5 hits there.
Can you believe we are sitting behind the Almondcity? Wow. Like the God game.
I don't deserve to be in this room right now.
Okay, Wily 2 is, I guess, sort of uneventful except for the boss fight, in my opinion.
It's a lot of Rush Jet.
Darkman, what's the name of the boss in Wily 2?
We'll get to there. You know, we can't spoil it.
I'm
all
just
right?
looking forward to it.
It's a good one, all right? I can't spoil it yet.
It's a lot of spikes here, but generally not a problem.
Yeah, again, switching to a weapon that we're going to see throughout pretty much the entirety of the stage.
Probably have time for a quick donation. Not really doing too much with explaining the stage.
We have a $20 donation from Puwixel, who says, "A marathon without Shanoa is like a crab without Shaw."
Okay.
Thanks,
All right.
Quetzal.
Thanks, Quetzal. All right. So coming up, we're coming up to the last screen of the stage, and he's going to be switching to Toad. Interestingly enough, Toad is not the boss's weakness. Which, by the way, the name of the boss is called Taco Trash. That's right, Taco Trash. T-A-K-O, not T-A-C-O. So if you're a Japanese enthusiast, you'll understand why it's called Taco Trash. But anyway, so Toad is not his weakness. However, he's going to be using Toad at the beginning of the fight. Basically, he's going to make him fill his HP bar super fast. Maybe fast, you can explain why it works. I have no idea, but all I know is it works.
I have no, it's just magic.
There you
just
go.
do it.
Now he's going to be switching to Ring. This is the fast way to kill him. He could actually go into the boss. Oh, okay. Health is still fine. Yeah, this is good. So he can actually take a safer method and actually hit him with Drill and then go into his into the boss on the right, and he won't take damage. But it's a little bit slower, so Ahmed is really good and opted to do the fast strat. And make sure you pick up the Pharaoh.
Yes.
Drop.
Yeah, that boss before that strat was completely free.
Yep.
Now it's like
Now it's like super hard.
very hard.
Really cool looking fight.
Yeah, it's super cool. I mean, nobody likes easy fights, so.
No. This game definitely needed to be harder.
So. All right, so yeah, again, he's picking up ammo for his ring and his dust.
Did I miss any?
No, you're good.
you're
You're
good.
gonna pick up the small ones in the next
Yeah.
one, but yeah, you're good otherwise. Oh,
Yeah, it's bold.
yeah, I like this guy.
Oh, okay.
All right, well, yeah, he's pretty tight with his dust ammo. So actually, we use dust for 2 bosses coming up. First, you're gonna use it on Pharaoh. Yeah, so like obviously we know Pharaoh's weakness is bright, but it's incredibly slow. Dust is 2 damage each shot, and you can fire it faster than you can charge the Buster. So that's why we're gonna be using dust rather than Buster. But yeah, again, you've seen like how trolly Pharaoh can be in terms of his going up and down, and not just sitting there when we want him to. So hopefully he doesn't use too many bullets because he doesn't have a lot of spare ammo.
What a good
So yeah,
boss.
like right there,
I
like
love
he's
this
just
guy.
being an idiot. Yeah, like this is crazy. Like if he misses like I think 2 shots, he doesn't have enough ammo.
Okay, that was
Yeah,
good.
so he has enough ammo now. He's fine. So now he's going to a skull here.
All the randomness we've seen from all the bosses is now just all together in one happy stage.
Oh yeah, you can just have like 30 seconds of RNG go badly in your favor, and it's just like, well, what I can do about that?
Yeah, that's the first of it. You're hoping for a short shield from Skull there.
So yeah, it's actually important to conserve skull ammo here because we're going to be using Skull and Bright next. Yes, Bright Skull actually does 2 damage to Bright. This is important because Bright's actual weakness is
It's not good.
you have 5.
That's 5, right?
You have 5, yeah. So Bright's actual weakness is Toad, but it's kind of slow. And also, if you use purely Toad, you're gonna Toad does 4 damage to him, so you're gonna end up being frozen. So that's why he wants the skull here.
It's such a troll weakness because if you use only that, you'll get frozen 3 times in the fight. It's just like, I don't know why they did that.
And there's like no way you can like avoid the freeze. You're gonna get frozen.
Please jump.
Yeah. All right. And now it's nice that we have this 1 ammo because Almond's going to be able to throw this Toad here on Drill, and it's going to do 1 damage. And this is great because Dive Missile, which is his weakness, does 3 damage. So now because they have 28 damage, now he has 27 health.
How many
So-
times?
0 again.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Don't even.
Oh.
All right. Fortunately, as long as he does this right, he won't have another dive.
Okay.
Well,
he
That's
did-
your fault. That's your fault.
That was my-
That's all his fault.
Dive Man's weapon is pure
Yeah.
garbage.
Exclamation point dive.
Okay.
All right, so now we're going to Toadman, then we're going to do Ringman, and after that we're going to do Dust.
I don't want to get a health, but
You can do the do you do the ring strat where you get the health? I don't know.
I'm gonna do the swag ring strat.
All right, I like swag.
This is actually a pretty recent fight. Let's see if I can get it.
Beautiful.
Nice. Very nice. So yeah, he intentionally went that route, so that way he wouldn't get the drop. Otherwise, you would like kill him on the left side, and you'd be on the right, and you'd have to get the drop unless you wanted to jump up and.
All right, here we go.
Really
Dust
slow.
Man.
All right, let's see what Dustman does.
There we go. Yes.
Oh, baby.
Yeah, that was a
There we
really
go.
good fight right
Yeah.
there. All right, so now obviously we killed Dustman last is because we have a ring and we could stay on ring because, hey, what do you know? Ring is another weakness. So this has 2 phases. His first weakness is going to be ring and his second weakness is going to be drill. It's very important that we use ring here and get him down to 1 health because we're actually going to set up something with drill so that way when we hit him with drill for the last damage, for some reason it's going to do the same thing that what it did in Wily 2 with Taco Trash. And it's going to fill his health instantly. The important thing about drill here is he's not actually weak to the drill, but the explosion. So if you don't explode your drills, which you have to do manually, he does no damage. So
It
yeah.
actually like can't reach him
Yeah.
up there. It just takes off.
So yeah, so we're coming to the last stage. Been a good run.
It's not
I mean,
bad.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Is anybody surprised?
Never surprised this guy.
I'm surprised that the cart didn't act up anymore after ring.
Oh, hold on, hold on,
say
hold
anything.
on. All right, so coming to this fight, the reason why he refilled Pharaoh ammo that you saw there, he didn't normally have to, but because of his ammo, he wanted to play it safe. He is going to Pharaoh is the weakness for the Wily capsule. If things go badly and he ends up missing a few shots, he's not going to have enough ammo to finish the fight. And he can't finish the fight because basically the only other thing that will hit him is Ring, and he has like a couple Ring left. So
Yeah, and Ring only does 1 damage anyway.
yeah, whereas Pharaoh does like a lot. So
How many double hits?
12.
wow.
Oh, close.
You're letting me
Too
down,
early.
Almond. All right, time's coming up soon when Wiley
There you
dies.
go,
So
nice.
yeah, in this next hit, and time.
39.
Well, 39, pretty good.
That's solid.
I mean, maybe that's disappointing for Almond standards, but you know, for the rest of us, that's really good.
You got the 39 that Fast was supposed to get.
It's true. Thank you for taking that one for me. I appreciate it.
So you mean he was supposed to get your 36?
Maybe.
So that was pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shout outs to everyone on the couch and Smash the Record. We're putting this together.
Yeah,
I think
absolutely.
we got Sunshine up next. So that'd be
Yeah, we got an awesome Sunshine race with Chrism and Chillin' Dude, so that's going to be really fun. So stick around, and thanks for watching Mega Man Block.
good. Thanks.